All right, buenos dias. Welcome. I guess that until lunchtime we will have enough people here. We call it certification course, even that I think that working with the system is not matter of certificate. If you want, you can send cases even without certification. I think that when we get to a new system, and some of you I know did already incognito, yes? Yes. I think I did also the course of incognito some years ago, and I felt that in the course I didn't get enough tools to avoid problems, and then what to do when they happen. And I think this is the most important issue that I'm going to face in this one-day course, which to us is the most important. It's not actually how we bond the bracket. That can take 1 hour, I can explain you, and that's it. It's a matter of understanding my philosophy on biomechanics. It's not mine, but according to my experience, how I implement the biomechanic rules into lingual orthodontics. Okay? There is a website, lingualcourse.com or lingualnews.com, that you are invited to look at different courses, many articles on lingual for free. So very nice for you to look. I've published and edited today, until today, 5 books. These are my first 4 books. My 5th one was published a few months ago. And I'm also editor of this journal, which unfortunately is not being published extensively, now every year. Buenos dias. And these are pictures from old courses, just to show you that I used to have hair when I was younger. That was in Brazil. And in France, England. This is my family. Not easy to travel so much, but my wife already knows that this is part of our life. This is my clinic and my staff. You can understand why I'm very happy to go to my office every day. I don't believe in multiple chair orthodontics. I work on one-on-one. I have extra room just for hygienists and for impressions, but I work one-on-one with patients. I believe this is the right way. I could move to a place with 5 chairs, but I don't need it. When we speak about invisible orthodontics, many people still believe that buccal orthodontics is very aesthetic. I think it is very aesthetic if your teeth are very straight and you don't do anything. You just put brackets like here and even put a white coated wire. That's very aesthetic, but unfortunately we do orthodontics for crowded teeth and they don't look like this after a while. And then they look more like this, which is okay. I think, now after 20 years as orthodontics, I think it's very nice to be with brackets, but this is only because this is what I see all day. In 2001, I started with Invisalign. I do believe in Invisalign. I do a lot of cases. Probably 1/3 of my office is Invisalign. And I think this is a very intelligent system. I will not be the one to tell you, oh, let's go for lingual because Invisalign do not do what we want. I think it can do, but depends on the patient, depends on your planning. Same will go today for our discussion on planning for e-brace, because I think that planning is a key, the number one key for success. And when you ask if it is good for all cases and do we have three-dimensional control, we can of course look at simple cases. These cases are good for what we discussed before, what now is very popular in the UK, like 6 months smile, which is an easy case. You can easily, with the little stripping, align the teeth. But I've done much more complicated cases, like open bite. This case is nice. It's I've planned here with Invisalign distalization of 7, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4 in order to open here space for this cuspid. It's quite heroic, with no mini implants on that time, nothing. I did it in 2004, 2003. There were no mini implants. And here you can see, I'm sorry for, maybe we, can we take off the lights here? Just here? Will be better. No. Oh, yes, good. So we did distalization of 7, 6, 5, 4. You can see the space here. Okay. And here is after alignment. Of course, still not perfect, a little bit cuspid here, but you can see that you can do whatever you want. That's another case I did with Invisalign. Very complicated. We have here double cross bites. One in the posterior area, one in the front area, midline problem. And here she is after more than 1 year with Invisalign. You can see how it fits and the attachments and everything. These are good patients and with a very, very nice occlusion. Still some midline problem because of the mandibular shift, but that's normal. Very nice alignment. So I will not be today the Invisalign propaganda, and that's a nice option. I think that our mission is that in our practice we will be able to do everything. Everything and everything good. I think that lingual orthodontics is wonderful. Today I can do practically everything with lingual, as I can do everything with buccal, as I think I can do almost everything with Invisalign. So our mission today is to understand all the different philosophies behind lingual. There are today so many systems, as described in my new book, Lingual and Aesthetic Orthodontics. It was published around a 1.5 years ago. There are 44 chapters on all different systems, including all commercial companies, not including SureSmile, which was new. And I will just very, very quickly, in 2 words, cover the types of brackets we have today. That is, of course, I don't know how many of you know the history of Lingual, but that was the first bracket that was invented by Craven Courts. I was lucky to know him personally. Here's a little Hollywood story that I can tell you in one of the breaks if you want. Very interesting story. But anyway, he invented, together with Omco, the Omco quartz bracket, and they stopped in the 7th generation because they felt, you know, comparing to investment, was the best bracket that they could have. And that was the first. Now we have different levels of brackets. There are brackets that are meant to do only alignments. They are two-dimensional, there is no torque. One of the most popular is the Forreston 2D, which has only clips to catch the wire. Same, we have Eclipse or MTM by GAC. We have now, I don't think I put it in here, Joy by Adenta. Adenta bracket, German bracket, they have now Joy, which is again same like 2D brackets. Joy, J-O-Y. Leone has, the Italian company has also very similar one. Sia Orthodontics. Then we have semi-straight wire bracket. The STB bracket actually has only exaggerated torque to compensate for problem with extraction cases, but it's not a full straight wire appliance. It doesn't have all the angulation and everything built into the bracket. One of the reasons is because when you put more prescription into the bracket, it means the bracket becomes bigger because you need to put all the built-in correction for torque and everything into the base or into the bracket, and then the bracket becomes a little bigger. And if you want to keep, one of the ideas when they invented the STB is to make the bracket as small as possible, which made our life as clinicians hell, because you cannot see the bracket, and you, especially in my age, I cannot see anything. And the patients that were supposed to benefit from the fact that the bracket is so small actually did not benefit anything, because all the modules just went away, or the elastic modules that you put in order to catch the wire. So we need, with these brackets, we needed to put metal ligature around every bracket. And this metal ligature can poke, can do a lot of things to the tongue, not to speak about the time we spent on every changing wire session. So now the new STB has this hook which help you to put the module, and eventually is more similar to this bracket which I told you before. This bracket is a combination of the Generation 7 bracket by Omco and the STB idea. This is a complete straight wire appliance, but much smaller than the Omco Generation 7. And this company is called ORJ, and the bracket is called ORG. O is for the company, ORJ. R is for Romano, and G is for Gueron, my colleague and friend Silva Gueron. And we both designed this bracket. Unfortunately, we were very happy with the design, so we didn't do any patent or any agreement with the company. So now they sell it like crazy and we get nothing, but it's okay. This company was bought recently by 3M, so now it's officially belong to 3M Unitech, which give a stamp of quality, you know, and FDA for the metal, and the cost is nothing. It's really nothing. comparing to other system. Of course, it's a straight wire system, so you need to have a professional lab or professional system to put the brackets in the right place in order to get all the correction needed for lingual. We will speak about it today a lot, okay? Which of course with eBrace or Incognito or Harmony, you get it computerized, and then you get the wires already ready for your brackets. Okay. Just, you know, I think those who do lingual orthodontics, it's very important that they know the key persons who are into lingual. You know, they're still young. Hiro, this is Hiro from Japan. Most genius people I met. Did you meet Dr. Hiro? He's amazing. He all the time invents new things. He has his own laboratory philosophy, which we will maybe have a little time to cover today. And he has now his own brackets. And he has his fans in Japan that will buy his brackets. He's not very commercial, but there is also Hero bracket. And this is Hato Lloydi. He's a German guy, invented the Adenta bracket, self-ligating, named Evolution. This is a very nice new bracket named Phantom. It's a clear composite, let's say not a regular composite, it's a strengthened composite, bonded lingually with self-ligating. They have now a new version, and that's Phantom brackets. This is a Dentarum Magic. American orthodontic brackets, they have two versions. They have the steeled bracket, which is this now self-ligating, and they have the Harmony, which we will see later. Harmony was bought by American Orthodontics. Fujita is one of the oldest, one of the first brackets in lingual. Still there are Japanese who are using the Fujita bracket. It's unique because the Fujita's philosophy, and we will speak a lot about biomechanics. The Fujita philosophy is put the bracket as gingivally as possible. Can you tell me why? There are two reasons, two main reasons. One is a bite, because if you put it down, you have less problem with the bite. And second,
it's torque, control the torque for the.
Okay.
Close to the center of
yes, we get more. There is less variation between one tooth to another. When you go down, when you go up, there is influence of the shape of the lingual side, okay? And each tooth is different, okay? And if you bond your bracket on two laterals, that one has cingulum, you know what's cingulum? And one doesn't have, you have a problem. You need to do different composites. But if you go down, you are more in straight wire concept. Okay? And then you can use less bend. You also get closer to center of resistance, which make the bodily movement more easy, but make the rotations more difficult. And this is why it has all the accessories here to make rotations, to make upright, etc. So I think knowing other systems is important, not because of commercial reasons, is because we have to understand what was the philosophy behind these techniques. Why people thought about putting the brackets there or there, and then take the idea to our system that we work. I remember that I attended Wick Alexander course, and Wick Alexander has his own Alexander brackets, which I never used, but I do use a lot of his philosophy that he put in his brackets on my system. Now, when we go to CAD-CAM brackets, CAD-CAM brackets is probably today the most sophisticated technology. But this technology is only a technology. It's not a miracle. People by mistake, also in the UK, with this 6-month smile, whatever, they think that they will take impression, and on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean is a very well orthodontist, probably Dr. Hero himself, sit down on your case and he will plan the bracket especially for you. That's never happened. It's a technician, usually 18 years old, from Costa Rica, that gets $2 per hour, and he will do the case for you. He's excellent in computers, but has nothing to do with biology, with orthodontics, with nothing. So CAD-CAM for me is philosophy, is technology, but it's very, very delicate. We have to understand what we are doing and what we ask. But I think that CAD-CAM today is the future. For me, when I started to do Incognito and then I moved to eBrace, it's not a matter of only saving my time bending wires. It's the option now to visualize my cases, to plan them, to look at them in advance, to sit down 1 hour in advance instead of sitting 20 hours later correcting all my mistakes. So we have few systems. One of them, I start with Lingual Jet, because Lingual Jet, I think, is no longer exist. They got sued by 3M, by Incognito, and they are closed because they wanted to do probably the same. By the way, just for your knowledge, there is also a big sue against eBrace by 3M, but they sue everybody, as you know, because they have the money. So they sue, and according to, it's not my business, it's not your business, as long as they send us cases. But as I understand, and I visited eBrace office, it's not even close to Incognito. I mean, the idea of having customized bracket is not patented, but I don't think they violate patent, but it's not me to decide. So this is the Lingual Jet, this is the Harmony. Now, Harmony is the only system that, for good and for bad, provides you with 3 options. What are the 3 options? One option says, and this is important to understand because we will discuss the planning for eBrace, okay? Now, you can decide that you want a straight wire concept. Straight wire concept means that your wire will be as straight as possible, no bends, sometimes even not the mushroom bend between cuspid and premolar, okay? And all the corrections, all of them will be in the brackets and in the composite, okay? It means that you get a very big brackets, very far away from center of resistance. The bigger the bracket, the more the distance between center of resistance, okay? meaning that your biomechanics is very different. You understand? It can be very different between one tooth to another just because a little composite between the two of them. So the same wire will provide a different torque to different teeth because the distance is different. You know that moments are distance double force. Okay? Now, you can decide you want to work with harmony with straight wire. You can decide you want to work with harmony with a complete or almost complete flat bracket, smallest as possible. And then the wire is bended a lot to compensate. The brackets are not small because they are self-ligated. So you have the door, you know, but they are the smallest as possible. And then you have the in-between, which means that the brackets, you want something in between. The wire not that bended and the bracket is not that big. So you ask for the third version. Now in harmony, you have to define which system you want. You want number 1, number 2, or number 3. In e-brace, you can choose specifically for a case or for a tooth, which we will see in a minute, okay? Or in a few minutes. Okay, this is the harmony bracket. And these are the 3 options, okay? We have optimized, we have compensation in the wire, and we have compensation in the brackets. Okay? Yes, no?
Yes.
Good. I always say in my courses, I am lucky, as I told Tamara yesterday, I'm lucky to travel a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. And in every country, they act differently when you ask questions. You know, in Bulgaria, you ask if they understand, they do like this. This is yes, this is no. In Korea and in Japan, they just, that's it. That's a yes, that's a no, that's maybe. And don't even try to make jokes. That's not working. I stopped after 2 minutes. Yes. Jokes are not allowed. Okay, so that was the harmony. Here we come to the e-brace. The e-brace, which we will cover, of course, extensively today, is based on chrome cobalt metal, which was found to be the best compromise between material, quality, and price. Gold, the reason Incognito went into gold to begin with, because that was the easiest way to provide customized bracket. If you do it from wax and then you put gold in it, gold is very forgivable. Gold, if you make a small mistake, you can varnish the gold. You can adjust it. It's very easy. But the problem with gold is that it's not flexible in rebonding. It's not flexible in manipulating. It's very, very, and the chrome cobalt comes with a mesh like we are used to, and it's cheaper. They have the gold version if you want, but then you get it back into the point where the bracket is so expensive, then why you go to this system to begin with? Okay, and we will speak about all the features of e-brace in a minute. So Tamara will be happy because otherwise, yeah. By the way, I am very happy to lecture on any system I'm happy with. And I'm really happy with e-brace. I'm doing a lot of systems. So don't make mistakes. I'm not, I will never be influenced by the fact that I'm invited by that company or other company, because I tell all the faults and everything on every system. I don't believe in any system that doesn't have faults. This is Incognito, invented by Dirk Wishman, whom I know probably for 20 years. He was a user of Generation 7 brackets. He did very nice cases. And then he bought for his laboratory a machine, bending art machine, to bend wires for his laboratory. And from that he came to the idea, if I bend wires with the machine, why not to make brackets which are already customized? And that's how they started to do the Incognito brackets. And these are cases. Today there is also a very nice CAD-CAM system by Dr. Jignesh from India. Very, very nice, very popular in India. There is Lingual Matrix, another Indian CAD-CAM. And Orapix. Orapix is also a CAD-CAM way to provide straight wire appliance. This system is was developed by Didier Filion with a Korean company. He has his idea many years ago of software named DALI, Designated Arc Lingual, the I don't know. And together with this Korean company, they feature brackets that, again, the bracket size is different for every tooth in order to provide you with an option to have a straight wire. Now, there is a big debate. You know what's debate, right? Yes. There is a big debate between straight wire concept and customized wires. And the straight wire gives you the option to work as our mind is set. We know that if we have a wire which is straight, we can make an in bend. And we know that this in bend will put the tooth palatally or lingually. When you have customized wire, it's very difficult. Then we lose the control we have on the case. Okay? Now, the people who believe in these customized wires, the main idea is that you stay as close as possible to the tooth in every point of the arch, and then you are as close as possible to the area where you want to apply the force, to the center of resistance or center of rotation or wherever you want to apply the force. And this is a different philosophy. Now, today, Dirk Wishman, when he lectures, he says straight wire is bullshit because you have no control on biomechanics. The truth is always in the middle, and this is why in the last year I shifted to a system which I don't know how many of you have heard, Sure Smile. And Sure Smile is not a bracket. It's not wires. It's a whole concept where we get back the control. You can do the planning on every bracket. You can order wires which I didn't imagine even possible, meaning that you can order wires which are percentage wire that work only 20% on a certain area. If you have a tooth which is compromised periodontally, or if you want slowly to correct torque without root resorption or whatever. So this system, I think, is the future of orthodontics. The problem is that this system cannot work with customized brackets. It can work only with a system which the scanner can recognize. And this is why I divide my time now between e-brace brackets for those where I want customized, and for regular brackets where I do the scanning and I do sure smile. Okay. There is new, just for your knowledge, a new self-ligating bracket by Scuzzo and Takamoto and Dr. Lombardo, which is an assistant of Scuzzo, and a very nice lingual bracket. By the way, this nice, beautiful girl is an orthodontist. She's the daughter of Dr. Takamoto. And I was happy because she attended an e-brace certification course that I gave in Japan 3 months ago. And she came to me. That was a very big honor that the famous Dr. Takamoto sent her to do e-brace. So if Dr. Takamoto thinks that e-brace is good, I think that you can be really, you know, confident that he thinks it's a good idea, even that he is the inventor of the STB. Okay, so I still think that when we do lingual orthodontics, we have better and more predicted control on the teeth movement than we have in any other clear aligner option. The clear aligner can give you 3-dimensional control, but not comparable to a full bracket system. And this is just to show you, you know, when we have in a case so many problems like constrictions, angulations, gingival height problems, attrition, everything can be planned into our lingual system to get to a nice result. This case, for example, was a case I treated with lingual. I think I had done it with incognito, and she came to me from Germany. She flew to my office, and we had, this is an easy and a difficult case. Why easy? Because you can see that her arch is really aligned, but she has proclination, upper and lower, very extended proclination, you can see in her profile, and she was very unhappy. She had orthodontic treatment in some other clinic, and that's how they finished, and she was unhappy, and every orthodontist told her, you know, when she went to other consultation, told her, don't touch, because they were afraid, especially to do it with lingual. Now, if you do it today, I know that if I plan correctly, and I get wires which are pre-bended, and everything goes smooth because I planned with biomechanics, then all this treatment took me 14 months for premolar extraction, second premolar, with 10 visits. 10 visits including the consultation and the debonding. One emergency that she did in Germany. That's it. And that's another case, again, 2 premolars. And you can see, I don't, you know, the quality of the projector and the pictures are not that good, but you can see that even that she had 4 premolar extractions, still the arch is nicely expanded. It's not constricted as one can expect from premolar extraction cases. And this is again, if you choose your prescription and your wires properly and you work carefully, you don't get the arch constricted too much, even that it is an extraction case. You can see her smile after the treatment. You can see that what I like always to see is the mesial cusp of the molar when they smile. That's, I think, the key for aesthetic when you see the first mesial, hello, no, it's okay. And with a very nice occlusion and very nice parallel of the roots, which to me is one of the, I try not to debond any case before I do x-rays with the brackets, so I know that I have no problems in root parallelism or anything else that I want to correct. Of course, this is a very nice tool. Now I treat, this is one of my first patients of Lingual, and now her son, who is 13 years old, is in my office. As you can see, she was in her wedding day with the brackets, meaning that I did the treatment around 15, 16 years ago. And on that time, I extracted first premolars, because, you know, we were taught that if I will extract the second premolar, I would have a lot of problems with anchorage. On that time, we didn't have mini implants. But today, I almost never extract first premolars, unless, you know, there is some reason, special reason for it. But otherwise, I extract second premolars. Number one, because of aesthetics. And number two, because in Lingual, and there are many research about it, you get much better anchorage that you get in Lingual, in buccal. Meaning that most of the time I have to burn anchorage because I already get too much movement of the front, and I need to burn anchorage. So this is one of the reasons I extract only second premolars. So because I extract second premolars, I don't need to do this aesthetic pontics anymore. This is a case done by Adenta brackets, and I did it with individual jigs for every tooth. And just to show you how accurate, if you work with that case, also done almost 17 years ago. And we got a very nice match between the setup and the end result. Of course, I use Lingual a lot for social 6 treatment, which even if I bond the whole arch, you can plan to move only the front teeth by providing the posterior teeth in a passive way, bond them passively, and then just align the teeth like here for a social 6 treatment. Okay. In general, we all know, there is anyone here that never did Lingual? Yes, I will try to help you. Okay. In any way, you will see that you will get much more patients to your office, because many patients today, you know, when I started to do Lingual, I was in a big problem, because in Israel I was the only one, and all the other orthodontists told the patient, Lingual is not good, because they didn't do it, and they didn't want to do it. So they said Lingual is not good, and I was the one who had to convince my patients why it is good, and I was not sure it's good. Now it's more easy because you have many doctors doing it, so you have many patients come to your office and ask you, do you do Lingual? So you will get more patients, more motivation, And in a way, they even let you work more time because they're not concerned that you will take it off so quickly. This is why Tamara is going to have her brackets for the next 3 years. Okay. I'm sorry, I was not supposed to tell that you have brackets because it's invisible. Yes. But you work for Ibrahim, so you must, yes. Okay. There are, of course, some mechanical properties for lingual, which we will discuss. Not all of them are advantages. The fact that a patient bite on the bracket, and because of the bite, you get intrusion, is not always an advantage. We not always want this anterior intrusion. So we will discuss about all the biomechanics of the lingual appliance. And we will discuss, and this is very, very important, especially when we deal with customized bracket, where we can plan where this slot will be. Whether the slot will be more up or down, or in or out, we can plan it. So we will discuss, after this introduction, we will discuss the biomechanic of buccal versus lingual. This is the first lingual appliance. They just took buccal bracket and put it on the lingual in 1970. Most of you were not born. By Prevent Courts. And today, I'm sorry, we are in 2013, but we have many, many, many local lingual orthodontic societies. Also in Spain you have, right? Spanish. Yeah, they should be here. I think the founder of the Spanish one is Pablo Echari. And there are many, many places where you can hear lectures on lingual, which I think is good for us to have more experience and more knowledge from as many people as possible. I feel that lingual orthodontics is like driving an airplane, flying an airplane, and then in 1 minute you lose one wing. You are in panic. Then you try to remember Rafi Romano course, what we should do, and then you do all the things you need to do, and you are not hysteric. A little pray will help also. And then you land safely. Okay.